Every time someone came to me with a request or an issue, I didn't convey it in my words, but my thoughts as they were talking was, I can't take anymore. I can't take one more complaint. If I hear one more complaint, my head's literally going to explode right here in my office. Hello, and welcome back to the place where you learn how to achieve success in life and in business through personal development. My name is Angela, and I am a personal development specialist with a passion for mindset coaching. And here we're creating a community of like-minded individuals that have made the decision that they are ready to level up to their highest potential. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally put out there. Tonight, I kind of want to just chat because I had a rough day. And I can't say anything happened out of the ordinary because working in the field of behavioral health, and in the last video, I shared that with you. I primarily deal with clients that have co-occurring mental health and substance use disorders. So I'm used to dealing with days that are unpredictable, high points, low points. I usually just roll with it. I roll with the punches, go with the flow, kind of let everything bounce off, because normally I have very strong boundaries. And being in the helping fields, whether you're a counselor, a case manager, therapist, doctor, nurse, you could be a home health caregiver. And one of the reasons I'm having this conversation on this platform is because I want to include coaches as well as content creators. Because believe it or not, you are actually a part of the helping field, because you're creating content, you're doing research, you're sharing of your personal experience to help another human being solve a problem. And when you're studying to become a human services professional, one of the areas that they address is that of burnout. Because when you're helping other individuals and you're taking on their energy, sometimes it's almost impossible to avoid an energy exchange. Sometimes you are dealing with their traumas, and the helper can actually be traumatized just from hearing of another person's trauma. That's that vicarious trauma. Or you can have another phenomenon that's called compassion fatigue. All of those can lead to burnout. So I was sitting back, and I know all about it, but when you're in the thick of it and you're going through your own stuff, you really don't think about the psychology of it all. You don't usually diagnose yourself for the most part until it gets so bad you can't help it. And that's where it's gotten for me. I would say probably maybe the last 2 or 3 months, every time I go to work, I find myself having a negative attitude, a pessimistic outlook. And that's very different for me, because I'm usually that one. I'm optimistic. I look for the silver lining in every cloud. It's very important that I monitor the type of energy that I'm putting out, because I believe I'm going to get that back. And the only thing I want in my life is good. I want peace. I want positivity. So that's what I have to put out. And even when things may not go my way, if things are difficult, I know those things are just there to teach me a lesson and to prepare me for the next phase of my journey. So even those challenges, I welcome them. So for some reason, I've gotten to the point where I feel like I'm ready to walk away from doing the very thing that I love to do, which is help others get better and to help others recover. So I went online when I came home today, and I looked up the World Health Organization's website, and they recognize burnout. They call it an occupational phenomenon. So they say there are 3 characteristics of burnout. So the first one is feelings of energy depletion or exhaustion. Every day I came home, all I wanted to do was sleep. And I'd lay down to go to sleep, and I couldn't go to sleep. So by the time I finally fell asleep, it sometimes would be 1 o'clock in the morning. I wake up exhausted. And then there was those nights I was so tired, I would go to bed at 8 o'clock in the evening, wake up exhausted. And I'm thinking, what is the issue? Whether I get a little sleep or a lot of sleep, I wake up exhausted. Hadn't quite put my finger on it yet, but I knew something was off. The next one is increased mental distance from one's job or feelings of negativism or cynicism related to one's job. And I just relate that fact to you that that's where I was. Every time someone came to me with a request or an issue, I didn't convey it in my words, but my thoughts as they were talking was, I can't take anymore. I can't take one more complaint. If I hear one more complaint, my head's literally going to explode right here in my office. And that's not me either, because I believe in compassion, I believe in patience, and I believe in empathy. And I've noticed within these past maybe 6 to 8 weeks, it hasn't been there. And lastly, they say a reduced professional efficacy. And that's important because one of the issues with burnout is if it goes unchecked and it goes to its extreme, it can render the helper incompetent. And that means incompetent to perform your services effectively. So it's very important that we catch burnout before it gets to that point. And what I realized today is that I was bordering on the danger zone of burnout. So what I want to share with you, some more subtle symptoms that may alert you to the fact that you could be burnt out, or you may be approaching a burnout phase. Also, a lack of concentration, energy, or effectiveness. And by nature, I'm a bookworm. I love to read. I love to study. But this past couple months, I have not been able to read my books. So not only am I a personal development specialist or a mindset coach, but I also coach myself. I study personal development materials every day because I have to take it in. Because if I'm not taking it in, what am I giving out? Because a person is only able to give out what they have. So I found myself feeling depleted, psychologically depleted, emotionally depleted, and physically depleted. The next one is cynicism. And like I said, I had a very pessimistic outlook on everything. When I would get up and get into my car in the morning, even pushing the button to start the car, I'm like, God, I don't feel like doing this today. So what I'm going to do later tonight, after I edit this video and put it up on the channel, I'm going to take some time and have that introspection and spend that time journaling so I can get to the root of it all. Like, what is really the issue? Is it the fact that I'm burnt out? Is it the organization that I work for? Is it that I'm ready to finally leave my 9-to-5, which that's something I've been seriously considering, and I've actually got a plan of action together and I'm working towards it. Is it anxiety about that? So there could be a number of things going on that can lead to burnout, not necessarily just the job that I perform every day. It can be a combination of many things that's creating the perfect storm. The next one is an increased frustration and irritability. And like I said, I've been very short-tempered, and I found myself isolating a little bit, and isolating in the negative sense, because sometimes it's good to insulate yourself and spend time alone for the purpose of self-care. But if you ever want to know if what you're doing is helpful or it's harmful, is check your motivation. Why are you doing what you're doing? So what I've been experiencing lately is not related to self-care. It's related to, I want to isolate because I don't want to be bothered with anybody. So that's something definitely that I need to look into and take care of that during this time of introspection. Decreased work standards. I get everything done, but it's become a struggle. So where I used to be able to get my progress notes done, get my documentation in order and in a timely manner, I find myself in the past 2 months having to use every mindfulness tool I've ever learned in life to stay focused and to stay present. And that's not me. And behavior changes. So I'm not my happy-go-lucky self. I have had moments where I'm able to laugh and have a good time, but I'm usually pretty outgoing, and I think that was one of the first things I noticed to change. These were all some warning signs for me, and I'm just sharing this with you because in addition to the teaching videos that I put out, I'm also going to have my life videos out, like what am I going through? What are my struggles? Because the helper struggles too. And that's why we need to find a place where we can go and have that parallel support. As we're supporting others, we have to make sure we're getting support for ourselves, whether that be seeing a therapist, group counseling, talking to your peers. But there has to be some place, a safe place, that you can go and process your own emotions and your own thoughts to keep yourself healthy. If any of this has resonated with you today and you can identify with any of it, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I post another video.